Hello everyone, my name is Katie Loppin. I am a student at ISSA in the College of Exercise Science program. I am a certified fitness trainer. For this video, I train a client. His name is Christopher Powell. He's 35 years old. He's 6'2", 225 pounds. So this client is coming to me out of a bulking phase, and he is wanting to compete in a physique competition at NPC level. So we're basically starting at day one for him. This is going to be the first week of a 12-week workout program, competition prep mode. So for this specific video, what we did for him was a back day. We did some abs as well, with some stretching, some light cardio. And for him, the back is a very important aspect, I guess you could say. He really wanted to work on his back and make his back way more defined. So the goal for this entire competition prep is really a lot of focus on his back, because he's very toned in other areas, and he's looking really good. So we're just focusing on his back. So we did a lot of pulls. So we did a lot of like lat pull downs. We did seated rows, bench over rows, face pulls. We did a lot of pulls. We're trying to engage his back muscles a lot. So you'll see a lot of that in the video. So yeah. So for this client, we started off with the warm-up on the treadmill, about 5-10 minutes. We had him at an incline of about 10 and speed of about 4. So he did this for a good 5-10 minutes. After that, we went into another warm-up of pull-ups, since we're doing back day. That would be a good idea to get those muscles nice and relaxed, to get them prepared for what we're about to do next, which was fun. For his pull-ups, I didn't give him a set amount. I just told him to do as many as he could at the time. So how we started off, we started out with wide grip lat pull downs. We had him going at about 60-75% intensity, and we just went over form, basically showing him he needs to be sitting straight up, not leaning back. That's a mistake a lot of people do, because they want to lean back. You don't lean back when you're doing your lat pull downs. And to bring the bar down right below your chin, not too far, and really feel that pull in the lats. So after the wide grip lat pull downs, we went ahead and continued. We did a narrow grip lat pull down. Pretty much just did those the exact same way that we did the others. I was trying to get him to keep his elbows in closer to his body and not have them turned out so much like you would with the wide grip. I think eventually he caught on. And then after we did our narrow grip, then we went ahead and did an under grip. So we did underhand lat pull downs. Yeah, I was just showing him the hand placement. For each of his reps, he's doing 8 to 10 reps of each exercise. We did one set of everything, but he would normally do about three sets. So after we did our lat pull downs, we went ahead and went over to the seated row. We did a wide grip seated row, and I was just trying to show him once again how people tend to lean back when they do their seated rows. Instead of you lean forward to grab your weight, you bring it to you, and as soon as you sit up, you pull it in and you pull with your lats once again. We weren't sure if he was recording this. So yeah, that was weird. So yeah, I wanted him to really focus on just using those back muscles to pull in. So yeah, that's the wrong way. That's the bad way. And that's how we don't want people to do it. We don't want people to lean back and pull the weight, because in reality you're not. It's not gonna engage those back muscles whatsoever. So we're just showing him, you lean forward to release your weight, and when you pull back, you're gonna sit straight up just like you're sitting in a chair, and then just use your back muscles to pull the rest of the way. So next we did a weighted hyperextension. Just showing him how you want to, when you're going forward, you're relaxing, you're going as far forward as you can, and as soon as you come up, you want to squeeze your glutes, and you definitely are going to feel this in your lower back. This is great for strengthening your lower back. He was way taller than I am, so we needed to adjust the padding on his thighs so that he was gonna get the most out of this exercise. He wanted to do it with 25-pound weight, perfectly fine. You can do it with no weight as well, but the weight does help with the pulling you forward and then giving you that resistance as you come up. Yeah, relax. That's what I'm trying to get him to do. Relax, go all the way forward. So next we did some bent over rows. You can do these underhanded, you can do these the way he decided to do them, which is overhand. Well, not how he decided, how I preferred. So what you want to do is you get in a stance, your feet are going to be shoulder length apart, or shoulder width apart. You have a slight bend in your knees, almost like you're squatting, but not in a full squat. You lean forward, keep that back nice and strong, head up, neck elongated, and you're just going to use, once again, using your back muscles to pull that weight into you. Oops. Yeah, that's what happens when your client doesn't hold the bar for her removing the weight. That was funny. That was not intentional. So here we're gonna do some straight arm pull downs. Like I said in the beginning of this video, we did a lot of pulls for him. So once again, you want feet shoulder width apart. You're standing straight up, but you kind of hinge, bend forward a little bit. Keep your arms straight, open palms, and just pushing. And it's almost like a push pull at the same time. You're kind of pushing down on the bar, but you're pulling it backwards using those back muscles again. And head up. That is something that's very important to stress to your clients, is when they're going to keep their heads up. he had an issue with that throughout our session. He kept putting his head down. So here we were kind of just discussing, he was explaining like how it was feeling as he's doing it, and he's got a little bit more of an understanding as to why I prefer to do straight arm pull downs like this, as opposed to some people like to do it with the rope. There's nothing wrong with you doing it with the rope, but you can kind of cheat your way out of it by using the rope, because then you're going to use your tricep instead of your back muscles. So then he wanted to do some face pulls, which is fine. We went ahead and once again, feet shoulder width apart, slight bend in the knees. A lot of people tend to lean back and like use the cables or the weights to hold themselves up. You don't need to lean back when you do this exercise. You're just going to stand straight up like you normally would, and you're going to bring that rope to your face. As you get closer to your face, separate it, kind of go to the outsides. And this is just a placement of hands for rear delts. Somehow we did not, my video was gone. He did rear delts as well, but my video disappeared and I did not have time to re-record it. So we also did some abdominals, just some basic crunches. We added some Russian twist with, I believe he had a 8-pound ball. The weight is ultimately up to, I leave that up to my clients sometimes. 8 was fine for him today. He has a bad shoulder, so I let him slip today. We also did 30-second planks. One thing I want to note here is a lot of people do their 30-second planks in general, and they lift their butt up in the air, or they drop their butt down to as low as they can get it. The form that he had here was really good. I definitely appreciated that he stayed within a good form, and I didn't have to correct him. And then for our cool down, we went ahead and did some nice stretches, about 20 seconds each. We did a kneaded chest stretch, which is great for his lower back. We did some rotations where he laid his arm flat, kept his back as flat as possible, and dropped his knees to one side. He held that for 10 seconds, and then we switched sides and hold that for another 10 seconds. And that's really good for stretching out and elongating that muscle. He said afterwards that it felt really good too, so that's great. So after he did that, we went ahead and flipped over and did, this is, I consider this a yoga pose that I really like. It's like a cobra, I believe is what it's called. But you really just pressing up off the ground, your feet are flat, and really getting a nice stretch in that lower back. And my favorite thing for back is cat-cow, which is a yoga pose, but it's a really great stretch. Cat-cow is really great, so I think we had him do this 3 or 4 times. And what you want to do is when you go into the arch, which is cat, you want to inhale. As you come out of that and you go into cow, you exhale. And after cat-cow from here, I had him stand, and we just did some very basic stretching, crossing over the shoulders. A lot of people think that's like an arm stretch, which, I mean, I guess it is. It's stretching out the arms, stretching out the shoulders, but it's really good for your lats, which is great because we just worked really hard on his lats. So this was a nice stretch. Just gonna stretch those muscles out, loosen everything up so he's not super tight when he's leaving. And again, just some pretty basic stretching, just pushing forward, bringing those lats, spreading those lats. He's also going to go up over his head, elongating his back muscles some more. He was also in a hurry, so we didn't go too deeply into these stretches, but enough that he's not just leaving the gym without doing anything. And I believe, yep, there we go. We also did forward, front forward, bending all the way over. We got some flexibility to work on with him. He was not able to reach forward and touch his toes. For me, I like if you can lean forward, touch your toes, or if you're able to, place your palms flat on the ground, which is a really great stretch.